What's up, guys? Welcome to Krakajak. It's a bit of a light-on episode this week. I'm Jayden filling in for Alex, and we've got Keiden and Riley with us today.
What's going on? We were here last week, so, we got the drill, so we got you back. It's all good.
Yeah, we know what we're up about.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
We have no idea what to talk about this time around.
I feel like that's sort of a pretty usual
A usual thing.
Oh, a normal. That's me every day of my life, really. I need Alex to dictate what I'm going to do for the day, otherwise I'm lost, like right now.
Exactly. Having his little list of things to talk about makes life a lot easier.
We should get like a little picture frame of him, just sit it somewhere.
Honorary Alex.
Yeah, in honor of him, so we can look at it and think, that's what I'm going to do.
Conversation.
Yeah, talk,
Socialize
speak.
That's what Alex would want us to do.
Talk a little bit.
About nothing.
About nothing in particular.
So I guess a good way to kick this off, if we're not sure what we're to talk about, is there anything you guys have been watching or playing or enjoying lately?
Me and Keiden have been playing Renowned Explorers International Society.
You are a renowned expedition leader, about to uncover the greatest mystery of your career, the Emerged Island.
Super good. So
Super mid-game.
we got the Humble Bundle?
Yep.
The monthly one.
Yeah, we got the monthly one because our friends kind of conned us into getting it. And one of the games that came with last month?
Whatever it is. Like
Yeah,
the one that we
the most
just
recent
got.
month. Yeah.
Whatever.
One of the games that came out with it is called Renowned Explorers, and it is really good.
It's super stupidly good.
Yeah.
It seems shit as well, is the thing.
Yeah. But
then
so basically the idea is that you play as an explorer with a small team of 3, including themselves, and you have to generate the most influence points, your renown points, by finding treasure, by defeating enemies, talking to locals, all this and that. How you handle
things.
Yeah, and you can get renown through different attributes like your science, your money, how much money you got, your wealth, your
how well known you are, or treasures or whatever.
And it looks like a really childish game, and to be fair, it is. But
it's really hard.
It's really difficult.
If you play it
really
how it's
fun.
meant to be played, it's hard.
Yeah.
If you play on classical on adventure mode, which is I think the traditional way to play the game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really difficult. I haven't got past the second explorer that you meet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I keep getting caught up.
Or
I just avoid them altogether. I'm like, I know where they are, and I'm like, let's not just go to that area. Forget the extra treasure.
So there are battle sequences in the game, right? Where
it plays out like Civ 5.
If you played Civ, right?
It reminds me a lot of a game called Armello. That's what what you're describing with your influence points.
It's like Armello, but
just an explorer version.
It's kind of like an explorer, and there's a larger map, and that doesn't have the Armello thing. It's a mix of Armello and another game that doesn't really have a counterpart yet.
That's a good reference point.
Yeah.
The combat is like Armello, except in the fact that you don't have to fight your enemies, and you can actually just you keep doing friendly maneuvers to them, like waving or giving them confidence or whatever. And instead of fighting them, you'll reduce their willpower to fight you until they believe in your cause and leave the battle.
Your crew isn't optimized for a violent approach, so you offer a peace treaty. They don't respond well.
It's so good. So you defeat enemies by giving them thumbs up and you dance around.
It's like a ridiculous action.
It's so good. Or you completely crush their spirits by just verbally abusing them.
Maria adds to the vocal barrage with a particularly humiliating remark on the attacker's funny smells.
Devious, so they just kind of get sad and leave. And it's weird, but great.
It's the most unique combat system I've seen in a long time.
Because friendly actions beat angry actions beat devious actions beat friendly actions.
So it's classic.
It's like a rock paper scissors, but you build your team pretty much based around one attribute almost.
It kind of reminds me, to a sense, I don't know, were you ever into turn-based strategy games Fire Emblem?
Yes, Fire Emblem is
it's kind of like Fire... the combat system is kind of like Fire Emblem in that sense, where, some attributes are stronger than others. The axe beats the spear, and the sword beats the axe, and the spear beats the sword, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's really good.
It's a lot of fun. Cool. And then I try and fight everything like in a diplomatic, friendly way, which is totally against my personality.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
As it appears, but like I've defeated like wild packs of hyenas just by like giving them thumbs up. All the time, and like my crew will like fall out, like die, and then I'll like revive them to give more thumbs up to more hyenas.
You have no idea how satisfying it is to defeat someone simply by being nice.
Yeah, and like they come in like super aggressive.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I will not stoop to your level.
And the thing is, they will also try to use nice tactics as well
You
on
change
you
like
as well.
you change the mood of the battle as you use different emotions. So if you're like nice and they're aggressive and the situation is dire and it's bad for you, you take more damage. But if you're devious, or if you're nice and they're devious, then you're persuasive because you're being nice and they're trying to be shitty. So like you're a better person than them.
Like it's really confusing to verbally describe, but
Once
like,
it gets rolling, you're like, oh,
once
okay.
it gets rolling, you understand. If we get like some sort of image for you to understand, but there's like there's a mood bar which determines the current mood of the battle, which I reckon is really clever. Like I've never seen a game that incorporates that kind of emotion into the fighting system.
Mainly because every game you have to just beat the shit out of your enemies.
Exactly.
And this one, like, believe in me, and they eventually believe in your cause, and they just leave. They're like, you did it.
I mean, that's what I want from a game: the ability to thumbs up hyenas till they die.
Yeah,
exactly.
If they die, they just like give up. They're like, oh wow, I actually think you've got a noble cause somehow, and then they leave.
The hyenas.
The hyenas. You change
this guy's got a point here.
It's like
a weird game, but great.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And it's really hard as well.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Because like later on you go, the more enemies you face, and I think it's harder to influence them.
Yeah.
And then they'll go straight to attack, and then like you'll die, and you'll just try and be nice and do things like the right way or diplomatic way.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult.
Definitely for the Humble Monthly, definitely the best, like one of the best $12 in terms of value that I've got out of it. Definitely one of the best $12.
Well, the next one is the Mad Max game.
Yeah, getting that for free, getting that for you. You put your $12 down, you get
the
that
Mad
automatically.
Max. That's just $12.
Like, and then there's 6 more games?
6, 7, 8 more titles.
Yeah, that'll
which
come
is like,
with it.
I've seen games like Volume pop up.
Yeah.
There's another game really recently that
Ark went with it, with Grav, with I Am Bread, and like a whole bunch of others. That's the bundle I wanted, but it's such a confusing system that I was like, all right, I'll buy it. And it's like, you'll get the next one, and I was like, but I want this one now. Like, how do I get this one?
The new Humble Bundle. Have you guys seen the new one?
No. What's in
You get Homeworld Remastered as
I
the
saw
max
it
one
this
for
morning.
$12, which is like I'm gonna buy it just for Homeworld Remastered.
Yeah.
But you get Chivalry.
Yeah.
You get
Chivalry.
a whole lot of it's like someone's best picks.
Cool.
Glenn's picks or something like that.
Oh, good on you, Glenn.
He's done a good job with his picks. I'll give him
he's
that.
done a good job, Glenn.
Yeah, there was some good ones, but the Humble Monthly, like,
man,
it's a solid deal. The only game I've played and I didn't enjoy that much was Nova 111. I played it.
Yeah, that looked like a weird game.
It's not as much fun as I thought it would be.
I haven't even tried all the games from the monthly bundle.
Nuclear Throne was with it though.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
I already got
Nuclear
that one.
Throne.
Yes.
Is hot stuff.
Like
So hard.
By itself, it's worth $12. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're paying $12 to get these. There were about 7, 8 titles in total, right?
Yeah.
And I remember looking at the total, and it said the total amount in retail price it would come to around $120. And then we just US, and we just forked over 12 US.
Yeah.
Killer deal. Absolutely, yeah. It's awesome. And also there's a satisfaction in kind of what's the surprise? What are you gonna get out of that bundle for that month? And in some sense, it stops me from buying games because I've already got this big load that's coming in. I haven't even played all the games from that last bundle. That I
skip
just
Nova
got.
1 on.
And you'd hold
Okay.
things off.
Pardon?
You'd hold things off. You go, I might not buy that game that's just come off
Yeah.
for $10 because who knows? It might.
Who
be in
knows?
this
Maybe
bundle.
it's in. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Plus, you get that added bonus of feeling a little bit good when you donate that 10%.
Yeah,
charity,
one of
you're
the charities.
for sure.
Aren't
Like,
I the philanthropist?
I'm doing a good job with my games. I'm doing a good job with this.
Bill Gates
You're
needs
a
to take a
good-
page out
Yeah,
of my
exactly.
book.
Good citizens right here.
Exactly.
All because we buy video games.
Yeah, I know,
that's
exactly.
The best feeling. You can do good for the world and buy video games at the same time.
It's definitely the Humble Bundle guys. Like the is it a corporation in Inc?
I think it's a company now.
Company? Yeah. Great concept. Like I remember when it first came out, it was just surprised. Like I didn't expect. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Like I
the
thought it would
quality of
definitely
the
be a
games.
rip-off. Like you'd be like, no way I can pay this and get this much.
Well,
Like,
there's so many bundle stores out there that you
Yeah.
see, and you're like, they're all crap games, and
Yeah.
you're asking like
Yeah.
$5 for games that
I
I
don't
would
really
pay $1
want.
for.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas I think like I was saying, the thing that I'm most surprised with is the quality of the game titles that the Humble Bundle company provides are actually
well,
real
they
top
don't
notch
provide.
stuff.
They just talk to publishers.
And comics. Have you
Yeah.
Oh
guys?
no!
They
The
do
comic
comics.
ones are really good.
So I picked up Image
play
Comics. I adore Image Comics. Like they've created some really good stuff lately.
Did they do East of
Wicked
West?
And Divine, East and West.
East of West is real. You would like East of West.
What's
I've
it
really
about?
enjoyed. It's a mix of Eastern mythology and Western.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick!
It's like
Cool,
it's like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Western comic, but also
Mad.
with Eastern mythology and Western mythology. I guess like the four horsemen of the
Yeah,
apocalypse
yeah.
are in it. Actually, Death is the main character.
Yeah.
I believe, and he's like fighting his three brothers.
That's awesome.
They're
It's
like
really good.
revitalizing comics. So like you've got all your superhero comics that
Yeah.
people love, and then you just didn't really have much else. It was the weekly superhero comics, and now Image has sort of filled that with all these people that love making comics and
Yeah.
love making art and putting them together to create these really unique, whether they be short stories or long series.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
one I really enjoyed the most was East of West. This is probably the only one I'm kind of keeping up to date with.
East to West.
East of West.
I got to look
Wicked
that
and
up.
Divine and Sex Criminals are my picks.
Oh, that were right.
If we're talking like indie comics, like we're straying away from the superhero stuff, because like as much as I love superheroes as well, right, I do get kind of sick of the weekly superhero comic type thing, right, and that's why I was never a huge fan in the Western comic book world, but I gotta say I started reading some of the graphic novels that Western artists have provided, because I'm a big manga fan, so you know your Japanese comics.
So good.
But there are some
Weird
really, really good. There's some really good Western comics out there. Like, you guys read Lock and Key?
I think I've heard of it, but I don't think I read it.
It's awesome. So it's about if I remember, it's like, it's a pretty convoluted story. But there's this house, and the house hides all these different keys, which do different kind of crazy abilities and effects and that. And I thought, oh, this is awesome. Like,
Have either of you read Bitch Planet?
I've given it a go for a couple of issues. It's pretty interesting.
Bitch Planet.
Bitch Planet. It's, if I understand, correct me because it's been a little bit, a prison planet for women. I'm pretty sure. Like Orange is the New Black, but space.
Space.
Yeah, it's like aliens in space.
Like a whole planet.
So like
for
badass gangster
women.
space pirate
Written by women for
prison
thing.
women, I assume, but I enjoyed it, so
That's mad. That's pretty
whatever it
badass.
says about me.
Well, it's one of those things, right, that there's so many new comics pushing new boundaries with new audiences, or I guess more clearly defined audiences.
Yeah.
And it's just fascinating to read that. Even if it's aimed more at women, it's just fascinating to pick that up and read through it. And even
Yeah,
if I
for
don't
sure.
go, oh, this is my favorite comic ever, I can go, I appreciate that this is a new form
interesting.
or
It's-
developing form.
Oh no, it sounds
It's
interesting.
an interesting read.
You know what? Recently, I've been getting into the whole drama kind of genre. I've been seeing that they've been popping up recently a lot as well.
Like Prison Break, which ended
Like
many years ago.
Prison Break, which ended.
pretty
But
recent
I mean,
show.
like there's Prison Break,
Relevant.
there's Orange is the New Black, there's
There's not Prison Break.
pardon?
There's not Prison Break.
There's not-
Prison Break is done.
No, but I mean, like, yeah, I know it's done, but I mean, like, you know, it was out in the past decade, right?
Oh,
Yeah, Prison
It is
Break
gonna
was
be
in
out in
that
the
I
the
think
past
it
decade.
would have
It
started.
would have ended like 2008, 2009 maybe?
Yeah, but it went for a long time.
Did you guys ever
Yeah.
watch it?
I watched an episode or
Yeah,
two.
I've caught an episode.
How was it? Like, because I've never seen it.
I don't know. I think it's one of those shows
Couldn't
that you
tell
need
ya.
to watch like the series to
Oh,
understand.
okay. All right.
It's not like standalone Prison Break. Not like they break out of a prison every episode.
I've seen so much bad TV between then and now that's just sort of blended in. Like I
Oh,
couldn't,
yeah?
I couldn't pick that up.
What
as
would you
one
say
episode.
one of the worst shows that you've seen?
Oh,
in
Ray,
recent times.
you're back in the room that
Off-
just started.
Off the top of my head, Gotham. I adore Gotham. It's like one of my favorite shows, but it is trash. I cannot defend it as a good show, but I adore it. I watch it every week.
What is? Wait. Gotham's about young Bruce Wayne, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's about
What is it not
Gordon.
good?
So it's the story of Gordon essentially becoming from like a early entry policeman to like Commissioner Gordon, tying in with the story of Bruce Wayne.
What's wrong with it?
It's trashy and really like, oh, we're gonna make we're going to give references to these bad guys, and then but they're like, this guy, he makes riddles. He made a riddle, see? I wonder who he's going to be. He did riddles.
If I remember right, because I've never like sat down to properly watch Gotham, but my sister's a big fan of like Gotham and Flash and that kind of stuff. So I've seen snippets of different episodes of different series. Gotham had a really like a really gritty, real kind of undertone. Would you say that?
It tries to be.
Oh, it tries to be.
The problem is it has some fantastic episodes. Some of the episodes of Gotham are just really well done.
Yeah.
Some of them are just weird and don't make sense and just out there.
Calm down. Stop that. Come on. Stop it. Calm down.
And just out there. The whole end arc, spoilers, if you care about that
Spoilers.
sort of thing, the whole end arc of the first series revolves around a 50 Shades of Grey style serial killer in Gotham for no reason other than that 50 Shades of Grey felt trendy at that point.
Nice.
He never goes full like 50 Shades of Grey, but like he
gets
has that
close.
vibe to him. He's
So
got like the crisp suit and then the room full of gadgets, and it's like, I don't buy this.
So Gotham's like, it's pandering towards the
It's
audience.
very
Oh,
pandering.
okay. That is kind of.
Okay.
I feel like it ruins the integrity of like the story. That
At
could
least
be-
they finally worked out that they can be MA. They were sort of playing around with that M rating at first, and now they're just like, oh, we can show people's arms getting cut off, and we can
Good.
chop someone's eye out, and
Good.
we can be gruesome. We can do that now. There's not enough people watching it
Good.
to warrant the M rating. We'll just make it MA.
Yeah, brilliant.
On comics, did either of you read Axe Cop?
Axe Cop.
I remember you
But I
you
really
referred it
want
to
to.
me, and I read a little bit of it, and it was ridiculous.
It got turned in. I don't know if you know it, quite a while ago, but it got turned into a TV show
I did not know.
starring Nick Offerman,
Yeah.
who does the voice, and
He's-
Patton Oswalt. Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec.
This is our handbook. I wrote the whole thing myself.
Ron
Oh,
Swanson.
I never watched. Oh, Ron. Yeah,
Ron
okay.
Swanson. Yeah. Well, he does the voice of Axe Cop, and it is a top quality show.
Is the show out?
Yeah, season 1 and season 2 are out.
Dude, I am
Is-
so behind. I need to get on that.
Is the little brother also the writer for the dialogue of the show?
Yeah, it's based on the comics. But
Oh,
yeah, he's
man.
like an executive producer as well.
Oh, well, that's rad.
Even though he's like 11 now, I think.
How does that make you? That makes me feel crap. This
No.
kid has already got his life together. He's an executive producer of a show.
Of a show where if you get blood spilt on you, you gain the powers of the person who spilled blood on you. Sometimes.
Genius.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Genius.
I wish I came up with
Mystery.
A show where every attack by the main character is secret attack and then explicitly saying what he's about to do. Even if he has to hide it from everyone, it's still, he says it out loud at
Yeah,
the
but
end.
are you an executive producer of a TV show?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
See, what you know what I mean?
But it's not, it's more the older brother's work than his. Because the
Yeah,
older
but-
brother illustrated it and put it all
Yeah.
up online.
Oh,
and he's
I'm
fine.
sure.
And the older brother is also an executive producer, and he's like 30.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
he's
like that,
probably
and that's fair.
the more in
but
control
the
one.
younger brother is still
More
an
successful.
executive producer, more successful than me,
Yeah.
more successful than us.
He's the writing supervisor, I guess.
Exactly.
When they
Oh,
when
man.
when they're like story, and he's like, he just like, let's do this crazy shit, and they're like, okay, like obviously we have to.
Genius.
I want to be in that writing room. I want to go to like at 11 year
Yeah.
old and be like, so can I pitch you this idea? Right, we've got a dinosaur and he's attacking the city. Here's how it's going to be resolved, and him just go, no, we've done that before. You need to be more original with your ideas and just shut me down.
No, are you kidding me? I'd love to act for it. It's like just reading some of the scripts that would be like, oh, Mr. President.
They get heaps of people, like heaps of famous people on
See,
it.
that's like-
Alison Brie
Yeah.
was on it.
Oh my
for-
god. Oh, Alison Brie? Really?
I love that's
For-
a fantastic famous person. I love Alison Brie.
She's great, but she did the Girls Are Dumb episode in which she, in which girls are all girls are dumb. And
Well, girls are dumb.
it was addressing the fact that the show had got in trouble for not featuring girls, so they featured girls, but because he's 11 and girls are dumb.
That's what it was.
The whole episode is girls are dumb and they can't be on my superhero team.
Well, there's some
because they are
diversity
dumb.
right there.
So, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Like, you watch the series?
Yeah.
They any good?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like the stupidest writing, but because it's so stupid, you can't keep up.
Yeah.
The episode which does zombies for like 70-80% of the episode ends up with the king of the zombies being a poo, who then marries the queen of England, To
Nice.
use the royal scepter to make everyone in the world poo at the same time, making him ruler of the world. But Axe Cop stops him because Axe Cop doesn't have to poop because his body is 100% efficient.
That is a deceptively complex plot
Yeah.
for an 11-year-old to come up with.
It sounds
really
deceptively complex, except for the bit where he goes, "I am King Pooh, king of the zombies here on Zombie Island.
I wish
I
I
am
came
going
up with
to
something
marry
like
the
that.
Queen of England
But if you
in London, England."
if you were that character, is that not what you'd say though?
Definitely not.
Oh, no.
That's
You
why
ju- you
you're
just
not
wouldn't
accepting.
understand.
He
Yeah,
does-
exactly.
He doesn't say it to Axe Cop or anyone in particular. Just standing on the top of a giant statue, generally out to the air.
Just proclaiming
The
it.
kid's a genius. That, like, without a doubt.
I think we can
he's a
decide on
genius.
that.
Yeah.
And the other,
Sure.
his side cop, the side person, it's not played by Patton Oswalt. I can't remember who it's played by, but it's someone famous. And he plays Flute Cop.
My name is Flute Cop.
Sign up here.
Well, yeah. That's Flute Cop.
But he plays flute very rarely. And he's just he's just definitely like, in the comics, he's written a lot more simply. But for the show, he's a lot more complex, I feel.
Oh, complex character.
It's like a
Wow.
couple who has a wife and like is kind of
Oh,
dragged
man.
into like
It's very human then,
Axe
yeah.
Cop's
No.
adventures, and he's kind of just always exhausted with Axe Cop.
So Flute Cop is our Watson character into the
Yeah.
mind
Yeah,
of, into the mind of the Sherlock,
Sherlock.
Child
the
Sherlock.
Axe Cop.
but there's no complexity to Axe Cop
Yeah, exactly.
because he says everything he's thinking, which is, "I'm going to kill a bad guy now. Secret attack, head chop."
What's one of the dumbest shows you reckon you've seen then? Because would you say Axe Cop, the TV show, is probably
Superficially.
superficial? Yeah,
Superficially,
superficially.
it's dumb, then it's brilliant, and then it's dumb again.
Okay, that's
On the
fair.
3 levels of the show, 2 of them are dumb.
Is it a cop out to say Big Bang Theory?
No, that's fair.
Oh, no, that's fair. I mean, that's
I can understand
That's
the
a
hate.
dumb show.
it is a dumb show.
Yeah.
It is a dumb show.
It's
I
just
mean,
listing a whole bunch of references and
I'll-
then a laugh.
I'll give them this. It was all right for a little bit. I was on the This Is an Alright show for a little bit. Started off really bad, got all right, and then it just got to that point, exactly as you're saying, where it's just, oh, reference, Star Wars, Star Trek, reference,
Yeah.
Bazinga.
Yeah.
And that's the whole show.
And then everyone laughs, laughing
Yeah.
track, and it's all
Have
good.
you
And you're
seen Big Bang Theory without a laugh track?
Where are the Rocky Mountains anyway?
Philadelphia.
Really? I thought they were out west someplace.
Think about it, Raj. Where did the movie Rocky take place?
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
It's the most awkward thing I've
Oh
ever
yeah,
seen.
Yes.
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's my kind of humor.
It's I remember watching an interview once of the guy who plays is it Sheldon, the one that says
Yeah.
Bazinga, and he was saying that fans would come up to him and say Bazinga, and he would because that was his catchphrase, right? And he would be affected by it. And then he was saying like how thankful he was that fans were taking him more seriously in one of his stage productions, which he was doing in New York, I think, where no one would come up to, like, during the performance would heckle him with like Bazinga or Babzoogle or whatever. And I was like, oh man, people do take the piss out of him. It's not just me.
Yeah.
It's everyone.
Yeah.
And he knows.
It'd be sucky to be him.
Yeah,
because
like,
that'll be him
I
forever
feel-
now.
And yeah, exactly. Like it's
Chuck
really
Lorre ruined him.
pigeonholed him.
Well, when people found out that he was gay, like everyone was just like, what? Like this Sheldon character that I'm
Oh, so
seeing
he
on-
is gay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what. I
But everyone sees that, and people don't see him as Jim Parsons. People
Yeah.
don't see him as the actor, as
forgot his name,
the
to be
gay
honest.
man.
Jim Parsons.
People
that's
just see him as Sheldon,
Sheldon.
and they go, "Oh, in real life, he's really odd and really awkward, and he's just like Sheldon." And it's just,
No,
yeah,
he's a nice guy.
that show has messed up his career.
Yeah, I
it's
know,
over.
right? Like,
I'm sure he's getting plenty of money for it. I'm sure he's not.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the house he built from it is
Yeah,
lovely.
exactly.
yeah, but like, yeah, if you were in that situation where you were given the opportunity to, let's say, act or work
Sell
on
your
a
soul.
TV show, right, where it would definitely become successful, but
Chuck
so
Lorre is on the show.
so successful,
but you know that it's bad. But
that
Chuck Lorre
you
is there.
can't break out of it. Would you take that?
I reckon I would.
You reckon you would?
As I'm not. If I was to go into acting, which
Yeah.
obviously, I mean,
Oh, of course.
it's a high likelihood.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I would be like one of those one-hit wonders. I would go out there and I would be that
And
Sheldon,
totally own it.
and I would love that, and I get paid tons of money, and I would just
BoJack
enjoy
Horseman.
it. Yeah, I would be BoJack.
Oh.
And then I would get out of it, and I would just live the life of a washed-up horse.
Oh, is it this guy?
Oh my God, he's got a gun!
Relax, it's a lighter. How much lighter fluid can I take on the plane? And before you answer, remember I'm a celebrity.
The whole show is just has that tone to it where you think you see the comic visuals, you see the horse, and you're like, this has got to be a weird comedy. And then you watch it, and you're like, oh, I can relate to this, and it hurts me, and it.
Yeah.
Why did I get so invested in this from the?
Is
the
it really
nice-
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been
Where are you
told.
up to?
Like I said, like towards the end of the season, I can't remember in particular
Is he
what has
filming
just
his
happened.
movie? Is he filming the Secretariat film?
No, he's. I think the last episode I watched was where, what's the girl's name again? The autobiographer.
Shit. I can't remember.
But you know,
Alison Brie in that show,
Yeah.
oh, is that
Alison-
Alison Brie? I didn't know. Oh wow,
'cause
no
she's a famous
way.
person.
and Aaron Paul is.
Yeah, well, I knew
is
Aaron
Todd.
Paul is Todd, but yeah. So the last episode
Paul F.
was
Tompkins
where
is Mr.
Mr. Peanut Butter.
Mr. Peanut Butter.
I think he's Mr. Peanut Butter. I'm not sure who he is.
Yeah, she was Mr. Peanut Butter's.
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Still is.
Oh, she still is.
Well,
Well,
we won't spoil any more for you.
she last episode was that she just went back to visit her family because her dad died, and
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, that's such a great episode.
he was really good. So
Dumping
dumb.
the chum. In
Dumping the chum. I was like, why? It just escalated so quickly that I had no idea.
D, get out of the way.
D, that's the one. Diane,
Yeah.
that's the right.
The game's on. Get us a beer.
Oh man.
I think one of the best things about that show is like it can be so relatable and so emotional, but having those animals, there's so many scenes where it's just humor coming from the animals.
Yeah.
Like in one of they're in a shopping center and there's two dogs like standing there looking, and one of them says to the others like, "Oh, I want to buy this chocolate, but I don't want to get fat. Also, it'll probably kill me."
Yes!
And I'm like, that's just
So
masterful
good,
comedy.
yeah.
You understand that Diane was the black sheep in the family, despite there being
Being a
little-
black sheep. Yeah,
a
yeah,
literal
yeah, of
black
course.
sheep in the family.
Yes.
It's very clever in the way it uses those animals
Yeah.
and animal things to sort of tell its
Have
story.
you
Yeah,
seen
for sure.
Quentin Tarantula?
No. Quentin Tarantula.
It's so many good like
Oh man.
puns on. I can't remember what the director. Something wolf, and he's a red fox,
Yeah.
and the guy whose last name is Red Fox is a wolf, and it's like, brilliant, well done, bravo.
It's a very, very well written and well created show. I
Yeah,
can't
I've,
wait for more.
I've
Character
really
actress
been enjoying it.
Margaret Markendale is in it.
But I admit that I kind of put it back on the back burner a little bit because I started watching Misfits. Which is
It's good.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
First season
it's
at least
really
was
good,
was
but
good.
I don't know. I never got into it. I can appreciate it, but
Oh,
I never
really?
really got into it. Do you ever watch it?
I've watched a couple of episodes. It was the same thing. Like I was like, oh, I would love to sit down and watch
Yeah,
this.
yeah, but you just never got
found
around
the
to
time.
it.
Never
Yeah,
did
fair
it.
enough. I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. It's kind of just like, you know, the classic kids who kids that only kids could relate to type deal, like, you know, the world's giving them shit about
Melon
it.
fucker.
No, yeah. Melon. Yeah, so you have seen that.
Yeah. Like there's just scenes you're like, oh, this is classic. Like,
Yeah.
this is what
And
teenagers do.
also
to each other.
relatable, like it's super teenage angsty, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But at the same time that's kind of the
It's
appeal.
fun.
Yeah, it's fun because and then they've got these wacky superpowers that they have that just kind of really encapsulates that fun element. It's good.
Yeah.
See, I feel like at the ripe old age of 21, I feel like I've kind of fallen out of lots of that stuff that had great teen appeal. I've just fallen out of. Like, I would love to go back and appreciate. I'm sure that I would sit down and enjoy it regardless.
You
I
probably
don't think
would.
I'd go, I'm too old for this. I feel like I would enjoy it. But yeah, it's hard to go back to. The stuff I can't go back to, though, is those crappy young adult movies that they keep pumping out.
Teen
Like-
Beach Movie?
We've got like Allegiant, the next, like another Divergent movie coming out soon. And
Oh,
then
I
like
didn't
the
watch the
Maze
first one,
Runner.
so I didn't
yeah,
watch the
that's
second
so
one.
bad.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
everything is just mass producing those teen movies. And like, I was watching, have you seen The 100?
Oh, the TVs? No,
Yeah.
no, I haven't. Is that any
Apparently
good?
that gets good.
That is, okay, I take back Gotham. That is my dumb
Oh, really?
I love it. It's trashy and it gets good, then it gets awful, then it gets good again. Like, it's a great show, but once you're invested in it, you just want to keep watching more.
Yeah.
But it is teenagey and trashy and...
Well, they're all teenagers.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know what you're
fair,
looking
yeah.
for.
It's like the typical sort of, we're all teenagers, we can make a new life for ourselves because we're on this world by ourselves. And
So definite guilty pleasure then.
oh yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with that either.
no, I
But
love the show.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think what's my guilty pleasure for a TV show.
For a TV, I like Dr. Phil. Like, obviously.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, Maurice, whatever. Sign it up. Judge Judy, I'll go for that.
Yeah, actually,
I'll do any of them.
Yeah, you know what? I've
You still
got
my
a
answer.
soft spot for like talk shows, like
Yes.
Like I'm a big fan of Graham Norton, for example.
he's really good.
Oh no, look, I enjoyed my Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and I'll admit that, because that show had no rules and no one ever watched on him, and that was amazing. But like Graham Norton, it's all right. I think I find those shows often stale, and they're the same kind of thing over and over. But the difference I really enjoyed Craig Ferguson, and the difference was he never did anything the same.
Yeah.
He kind of just went all over the place. And he would end an interview with, do you want to blow my organ or do you want to smash an ice sculpture? And like you could smash an ice sculpture, or you played harmonica with him, and if you were better than him, you won the golden organ, which was just a harmonica painted gold.
See, like
Jeff Bridges won one.
Oh really?
Yeah, he had a lot of people wanted to blow his organ.
There's, to some degree, the reason why I find the Graham Norton show so compelling is the fact that it's so repetitive in a sense. Like, it's comforting to know that it's going to be the same format every time. It sounds weird, and that's why I say it's a guilty pleasure, because I know it's just pandering towards like a mass-produced audience, which, you know, I will admit that I can be part of that audience at times. And for that reason, when I am a part of that audience, I see nothing wrong with it. I see that it does no wrong.
But I find it more like Graham Norton. I find more enjoyable than what Jimmy Fallon's become. Like
I've never liked Jimmy Fallon.
Like,
I'm gonna go on the record and say I've never really enjoyed Jimmy Fallon.
He had some good ideas for skits, and he's like done so well off them. But like when they go, oh, let's make a lip sync battle TV show, I go,
yeah,
that was a funny bit like twice.
Yeah,
but at least Graham Norton is just sit down the guests. There's a couple of different segments. Have a chat with them.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
let
yeah,
the
yeah.
guests be the ones.
Exactly.
To
Yeah,
variety.
that's what I like about
It's not
him.
that I hate Jimmy Fallon. He's funny. It's just that the show,
yeah,
I find is like the ideas are great, but there's just something about it that it just doesn't sit well. And I'm like, this is something lame and cheesy about this. It feels like it's trying very hard.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
whole time, and I'm like,
Well, I feel like that's very American. Like that.
No, see, Craig Ferguson was American,
okay,
and it didn't try hard at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
He had a horse where he pushed I watched it when it was crap. Like when it was crap. When he didn't have a budget and literally shot it in the basement of the CBS studios. There were more than one episode where they turned the lights off on him. When they acted like the whole thing just went pitch black. And he was like, all right, now we do the show in the dark. Like, welcome Danny DeVito. You can't see him, but trust me, Danny DeVito's here. And he was.
But you totally enjoy that kind of rogue style. Though.
The rogue style TV.
Which I do, by the way, appreciate, like, for sure. Like, it's different, it's compelling for that reason.
He always told the producer, who was off camera, to shut up. And, like, he was like, well, we're running out of time, but I'm, like, interested in what we're doing, so sucks to be him. Like, and he would just continue his interview.
Well, speaking about running out of time, I have an episode of Survivor and an episode of Archer waiting at home on my TV. So we should wrap this up for this week, guys.
We're going to call this the end?
Yeah, I've got Misfits and BoJack to watch at home. So
I'm going to go eat something.
Exactly. We've all got very important
things to go do.
I've got my life to attend to.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for
cool.
watching.
Catch you next time,
See you next week.
Bye.